Good evening. Welcome to Soundtracks with Birdman. Tonight we are discussing the second bestest Christmas movie ever, Gremlins. As always, Age Boomer and special guest tonight, Toy Habits. How are you, Mr. Toy Habits?
I'm doing well. Thank you so much for having me on.
Thank you for coming on. As I was telling Boomer, we're trying to expand people's horizons for other YouTubers. I think you have a very nice channel. If you're into toys, most people here are into toys anyway, so maybe you'll get some new subscribers out of it.
Appreciate it.
Always.
Yeah.
How are you, Boomer?
I'm doing well tonight. I got myself a Canada Dry ginger ale and am ready for a rewatch of Gremlins. I think I rewatched this on my own last Christmas time. I think it's an interesting. Yeah, it's actually we joke about things being in Christmas movies and whatnot, but this I would argue
There's
it
no
gets
argument.
harder because the season really is shown in this movie.
Yeah.
Even though it's in a way it's sort of a Christmas horror movie. You get those sometimes with stuff like, but it's more approachable than other things like Black Christmas or Silent Night, Deadly Night. I think it's more, and you get a nice happy ending at the end.
We'll never watch on this channel.
Well, we'll see. Actually, to be fair, I've never been able to track down the score to Black Christmas, so that may not happen.
Oh,
It's not on Spotify or anything.
No, I don't think they've ever released it, but let's see. Big Al, Team Ghost Planet here. We'll wait, probably more people will show up. But Michael, do you want to tell us a little bit about your channel before we start? Or
Sure. Yeah, I am one half of Toy Habits. I run the channel with my collector in crime, Larry, and it's a channel dedicated to episodic content and reviews of G.I. Joe and Masters of the Universe toys.
Oh, Birdman is a big fan of the G.I. Joe. We did the movie recently, right? Remember?
Mm-hmm.
I would be totally down for that.
Oh, actually, not. It wasn't the animated one. It was the.
What? That's all right. I'm down for any G.I. Joe movie.
Okay.
Good or bad.
Cool. We still haven't done the sequel to Rise of Cobra and also the original. I'm surprised you didn't want to do the original animated movie, Birdman. I guess are you saving that for a special occasion?
He was saving that for me.
Okay.
Saving that for you.
Definitely. Cool. But yeah, I'm trying to think.
Boomer, are you talking the 74 Black Christmas or the 2006 Black Christmas?
It's interesting you bring that one up. I need to watch that one all the way through because Morgan and Wong made it, and they were big writers on the X-Files, and also
they did some of the better episodes.
Yeah, and they were like the showrunners on the second season of Millennium, which I love that series. And they did a remake of Black Christmas, and it kind of had a who's who of like a young adult lady actors in it. You had Lacey Chabert was in it. Who's that when it was in Scott Pilgrim? She was in it. Just a whole bunch of Mary Elizabeth Winstead was in it. Just a lot of young actresses in that. But I never actually watched it all the way through, and I do like the original. It's a classic. It's kind of a dark comedy if you look at it in the right lens. But
okay, Boomer, you challenged me, and I have completed the challenge. Black Christmas, the 74 release, was done by Waxworks Records, and it's sold out.
Maybe when did it come out, if you don't mind my asking?
The internet doesn't tell me that.
Okay, because I remember looking for it years ago and I couldn't find it.
You can get a clear vinyl or a clear vinyl with blood splatter. Your choice.
Oh my goodness. Okay.
eBay.
Choices.
You could. Do they have a Gremlins vinyl with an exploded microwave gremlin?
Mondo did do a Gremlins LP a while back. I missed out on it. It goes for like $200 now.
Oh wow.
Okay.
Yeah.
So, I did pull up the Gremlins score on Spotify today just to get myself in the mood, and a lot of great stuff there.
Oh yeah,
it's awesome. Goldsmith score
actually pulls at the heartstrings a little bit, I think.
Parts of it, yeah. It's very new.
And you've argued this is the score that got you into
it's one of the scores that got me.
One of the scores that got you into listening to film scores. So, and it is a great film score. I'm not going to argue that. I love Mrs. Beagle's theme, I believe, which is terrifying when you hear it. It's I guess she's the Mr. Potter of this movie.
Yeah, I had a similar thought. Yeah, I've heard her compared to the Wicked Witch of the West as
Wicked
well.
Witch of the West, Mr. Potter. She's like an amalgamation of all these horrible characters from the old 1940s movies, and she's here in the present. But yeah, cool beans. But yeah. So I did ask Matthew. Sorry, I did ask Birdman before the stream, and he said you, Michael, didn't actually have any Gremlins toys. Is that correct?
No, I did not have any Gremlins toys, and I actually haven't seen this movie since I was a little kid. So this is going to be fascinating for me to trip down memory lane.
Yeah, I didn't have them. I don't think I had any Gremlins toys growing up either, which is surprising because I was actually a big fan of this film. I don't know how I missed out on them. Maybe I just was buying other stuff at that moment. Maybe I was in my Lego phase. I don't know, but I did. I did enjoy this movie a lot growing up. And
I saw the Gremlins toys on the shelf. Because back in '84, prime time to be a kid, and just a great collecting era. It's like 84 is like a great year for toys.
Oh yeah. Like I was mentioning on a different stream, I used to have the Indiana Jones toys, and the Raiders of the Lost Ark toys, and you could never find Indiana Jones. And I finally found one like at a KB, and I found like in this big bin filled with Raiders of the Lost Ark figures, I found one regular Indiana Jones where he's not in the uniform, where he's not in the soldier uniform, where he's in the in his Indiana Jones outfit, and I got it. And I brought it on the playground, and my friends started playing catch with it, and it fell on the ground, and it broke, and I was not happy. Don't bring your toys to school. Okay.
No, never.
Okay.
Let's welcome the chat real fast. We got Go Team Ghost Planet Go, and Big Al's here. And Big Al saying this is a Christmas movie, unlike others, like It's a Wonderful Life. Ooh. Because I know Die Hard's a Christmas movie, Al. Quiet.
And Cobra is the best Christmas movie. I'm sorry. I got to stop that.
Okay, what's your favorite Christmas movie?
The only traditional Christmas movie that we've ever watched religiously was A Christmas Story. So
that's a good one.
Yeah, I mean, it's it's the tried and true that is on loop 24 hours a day during Christmas. So.
Yes, is that what TBS or TNT? One of those. They
one of those, yeah.
I like Miracle on 34th Street. That's a favorite of mine. I like Scrooge the Musical. That's going to be on Big Al's channel later this week. I'm trying to think what else. And of course, various specials. I always love the Charlie Brown Christmas special, and of course the Rudolphs and all that stuff. But yeah, as far as Christmas movies go, Home Alone, and we're going to be doing Home Alone too.
Home Alone was. Yeah. You know what? Yeah, Home Alone definitely. I watched that so many times as a kid. I was friends with the owners of a video store, and they would just let me keep movies forever.
What?
Wow. So it's one of the perks. My brother
so much right now.
Brother used to work there, and
oh my goodness. Okay,
I got all the perks.
Cool.
Y'all ready to start this film?
I'm ready.
Yeah.
You want to do the 3, 2, 1? Is everybody queued up? We can wait.
Yeah, everyone's queued.
You all set, Matthew?
I am.
Michael.
Michael, I'm sorry.
It's all right.
All good.
Your thing, the chat was blocking his name, okay? Anyway.
That other dude.
Yes.
All right. 3, 2, 1, play. Now, right off the bat here, they used the old school Warner Brothers music that Max Steiner composed way back in the day.
Interesting.
Very iconic music.
Yeah.
I remember I had a film professor once, and he said, Chinatown, it's always the land of the mysterious. Like things always end up in China. Like I think that one Orson Welles movie ends up in Chinatown, and like it's the land of the mysterious. That's what he always said in Hollywood cinema.
This was the Warner Brothers backlot right here that they
really
used. And the town is the Universal backlot, which is what they used in Back to the Future. So if it looks familiar, that's why.
Definitely.
Touch of Evil, I think that was what it was. That was up there.
And in 1984, I swore up and down this was Short Round.
No, it's not. He's got the ball cap, but it's not. You thought he grew up a little bit?
I know it's not, but in 1984, Birdman, like that's Short Round.
No, I never thought that myself. I mean, maybe I did when I first saw it, but then I learned better. I think the actor who played Short Round was in Goonies.
He was.
I think that was in Goonies. He was the inventor kid. But I actually feel kind of bad for this kid. Like he does sell him the Gizmo because like we need money, and I'm thinking, well, things are not so rosy here, maybe as we think.
That is such a creepy shop. Would not want to step in there.
They get one customer a month.
Right.
They think it's the entrance to the club or something. It's like, oh, sorry.
It's to play its club.
Hello, Zootopia. How are you tonight? We're watching Gremlins. Now, that guy there used to do movie posters, I heard. He would draw movies. Yeah. Before he became an actor.
Oh, that's
cool.
What?
I need to look up the cast names on this so I don't sound like a completely unprepared for this great classic movie. It's been a busy week. It's the holidays. I'm trying to get everything prepped. All right.
It's been a busy week, and it was a crappy day for me. But
I'm sorry to hear about that.
I finally picked up my Sequoia from the shop, and it's still not bleeping fixed. I'm just beyond irritated. So my next step is to just take it to Toyota and give them the $1,000 they want to fix it.
Take it back to the dealer, right?
Yeah.
All right, hold on. Randall Peltzer is Hoyt Axton. Okay. And I keep thinking I've seen him show up on many things. He was on Different Strokes.
Oh, he was?
He did. He played. Remember when they got the redheaded kid? Arnold got the redheaded stepbrother Sam.
Yep.
He was Sam's.
Just stereotype.
I know his
horrible.
Redheaded. Well, I have red hair, so I can say anyway. But no, his redheaded stepbrother. Yeah, I'm just thinking he's the stepchild. Never mind. Anyway, he was his real father. They went on a camping trip with him, and Mr. Drummond brought freeze dried filet mignon with him because he's the rich. It was just I don't know, but he showed up on TV shows a lot. I remember seeing him a lot of that.
That's a great show.
He does. He is wearing the same outfit as Short Round, so I'll give you that, Birdman. Maybe a different ball cap. Is that New York Yankees?
That's a different style of ball cap.
Yeah, it has the mesh back. It doesn't.
Oh yeah, the mesh. Yeah.
Yeah. See?
Did I tell you about the company that's reproducing Short Round ball cap? They're making like 100 or 200 of them. Yeah, I ordered one.
Oh, that's a cool. That's a cool collectible.
It comes with a autograph picture of Short Round by Short Round. I mean, his non-Short Round name, whatever his real name is. You know.
Now, I often think I knew that Warner Brothers they were planning a cartoon series that was going to be about the old man as he when he was a child who doesn't want to sell the Mogwai, and I kept wondering if maybe he made the same mistakes and when he was younger and said, "This is why I know don't get them wet, don't try to make money off the Mogwai." Maybe he tried doing the same thing when he was younger. I wonder. Now he's older and wiser and knows better.
But that guy paid a lot of money for that thing. In today's money, that's like over $500.
Yeah. And I kind of like it. He actually is thinking about his son, you know. He's thinking about his.
I like it.
I remember when I thought $200 was a lot of money.
Back then it was. I remember I had to save up. I think it was $150 for a Super Nintendo back in the day, or was it $199? I don't even remember. And I'm like, that's forever. My piddly allowance.
I still have one. So.
Oh, what, a Super Nintendo?
Oh yeah, I have all the I have all the Nintendo consoles from '86 to today. Oh, there we go. There's the Universal Studios. Oh my gosh! Wow,
it's the same lot they use for the Burbs because we did the Burbs a few months ago, and
Save the Clock
Which
Tower.
was another Goldsmith score. We do a lot of Goldsmith on this channel.
he's one of my favorite composers, but he was also very prolific, though. Think about it. He's in a lot
He's got over
these.
200 films.
And it's funny, when I was a child, I kept thinking that any movie that had Steven Spielberg's name attached was just directed by him. I like, Steven Spielberg produced. Oh, this is a Spielberg movie. And I just said, I would always call them Spielberg movies because I thought, and I'm not saying he didn't have any input on the project. He probably did.
Yeah.
But this is really Joe.
He did.
Too,
he had a little bit.
Like Poltergeist was another one, and I kept you look at it, thinking about Poltergeist does for ghosts what Close Encounters did for UFOs. So,
well, there's still debate as to whether or not Spielberg directed Poltergeist or not. He was under contract at the time, saying he couldn't work on any other movies. But several of the actors have come out and said all my scenes were directed by Steven Spielberg.
Interesting. It wouldn't surprise me. We already feel bad for him. Think about it. You're trying to get your car started and it's not starting, and it's the entire car is covered with snow.
Caked in snow in a place where it doesn't really snow. They must. How did they do this?
It's when you're a kid, you just go with it. It's every movie takes place in the Midwest, okay?
Yeah.
Or the Chicago suburbs. It's either Midwest or Chicago suburbs. That's always the thing in these movies. Abe Vigoda, great voice actor. He actually did a lot of voices. He did a couple of voices on Batman and Superman animated series, and he shows up in many movies. But...
He's also a regular with Joe Dante films.
Oh, interesting. Okay.
Melissa, did you see the West Side Story? I haven't seen it yet, so I'm just curious if you saw it, what your thoughts were.
I know you wanted to see it. I don't know. I haven't heard. I haven't. It's Spielberg, though. I mean,
the trailer looked phenomenal. God, the cinematography, like, oh my lord!
I heard it didn't do so hot, but I don't know. Let's see. A Boy's Life and Watch the Skies. What's Watch the Skies? Is that like a UFO movie or something?
Don't know.
Wasn't that Steven Spielberg's like old 35 millimeter film, Watch the Skies?
Oh, possibly. It could have been Joe. It's interesting. Joe Dante made, I believe he was, what's the story? I think he worked on Piranha, right? Which was supposed to be like a spoof of Jaws. And I think Spielberg saw it and loved it. Okay, he thought it was a wonderful comedic movie, and that's why he started working with Joe Dante.
Was funny. I saw that child. I didn't laugh.
He got a kick out of it. He didn't take offense to it as being like a Jaws knockoff. He actually liked what Joe Dante did, and I think that's when he helped him out with this Gremlins project. Yeah, that's what I'd heard.
He'd also done The Howling a couple years before.
That's probably my favorite werewolf movie. I know a lot of people are sticklers for American Werewolf in London, but I think I do like The Howling more. You're either in The Howling or the American Werewolf in London camp, I've noticed. Phoebe Cotes, always nice to see.
Who is not ugly, Boomer. I don't care what you say. She's not ugly.
Yeah. They said people, I think I was watching I think it was a documentary on Fast Signs of Ridgemont High, and the director, she said that she had heard that VHS copies that came back of that movie were always staticky and worn out in a certain part of the movie. But anyway,
I wonder which part that was.
Yeah.
It's always the end credits.
No, it should have been. It should have been the Mister, I'm gonna kick 100% of your ass.
Yep.
That was my favorite part. Here we go, Mrs. Beagle, though. Oh, she's horrible.
She gets her own theme. And she's not in a whole lot of scenes.
Okay.
You must be a really nasty lady if you got your own theme going.
Yeah.
Mrs. Deagle, my apologies. I kept calling her Mrs. My husband, Joe Harris, and I've taken the sewing on the side.
Yeah, she's what you call a bitch.
Straight up. I love this bank has take your dog to work day, which is awesome. You can just tie him up underneath the counter and be done.
Yeah, I somehow think maybe not, but we'll find out.
Right.
This is her imported Bavarian snowman. Your dog broke it this morning. That might have been a blessing to the neighborhood, but that's just me. She just looks evil.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, Zootopia says Phoebe Cotes is a favorite of mine.
I think she's a favorite of everybody.
Yes.
This was 2 years post Fast Times at Ridgemont High, so
It is, yeah.
Jennifer Jason Leigh's in that movie, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yes, she is.
Yep.
It has a good cast. It
has a
Sean
great
Penn,
cast.
Sean Penn is Spicoli, and I think even Nicolas Cage has a brief cameo. Oh, man. Look at that vicious animal.
Whew. Enter Judge.
He was in Beverly Hills Cop. Is that right, Boomer?
Yes, he was. Judge Reinhold. Yeah, we did a rewatch of Beverly Hills Cop earlier this year. It was very neat. He was oh man, why am I so bad remembering character names now? But
Detective Williams.
Taggart?
Or...
I think so. Look, Nick Cage is Nick Coppola in the credits. If Nick Cage had been in this movie, it would have been a different picture. Guess who applied? Okay. Oh, he wanted to get him fired. He gets so sentimental about the holidays.
I don't think this guy is sentimental about anything.
What you saying his boss was? I hate Gerald.
Who wants to be a millionaire by the time they're 30?
I think many people.
I never thought I would be.
Yeah. Now this guy's kind of an aspiring comic writer, huh? Looks like. Huh?
Hmm?
Get me a vodka martini.
Phoebe's side hustle.
Oh, burn.
Cable.
Cable, you joke. In '84, cable's a big deal.
It was a big deal.
Especially if you have the premium channels.
I still have cable.
Yeah, well, yeah, exactly. But it's like back then. I mean, I had cable in my house. I was lucky. We didn't get HBO. We got Showtime. But you know, kids that didn't have access to cable around the neighborhood. They weren't able to watch Nickelodeon back in the day with Pinwheel and Mysterious.
I basically used cable to watch WWE pay-per-views back in the day.
Oh, sweet. Oh, I used to used to love those. It was weird because I got into WWF like after Hogan left and when it was kind of in the doldrums, but I got to see the rise during the Attitude Era.
Oh, nice.
And then, like I got to see how it started out with Stone Cold Steve Austin. How
that's great.
he's a heel, he's a bad guy.
Yep.
And then McMahon, being his typical good guy self, was saying, "I just don't think he'd be the best champion." That's all. And you're almost feeling sorry for McMahon, and then eventually McMahon just morphs into the villain that we always knew he was.
Mr. McMahon.
Yes. Oh, brilliant stuff. Of course. So, go ahead.
Are all these inventions in here? Are these made by the dad?
Yes. None of them really work.
No.
But here's the thing: how many times did Edison tried inventing the light bulb and it didn't work?
You're very correct.
That's right.
Those aren't failures. He just figured out 100 different ways not to make a light bulb. That's what he said. I think that was, I'm paraphrasing, and I'm sure at some point that toothbrush thing he has is he's going to make one that's brilliant. He's going to make the Macon Bacon microwave oven kit, and some girl in Texas is going to beat him to it by a month or something, right? See, you had to be looking at the microwave, Mr. Peltzer. That was the future. I like this, though. You know what? I make a point about this movie and a lot of the houses in 80s movies. They do feel lived in. And I know this is a set.
Yeah.
But it does feel like an actual home. It does have that lived-in feel.
Yeah. Similar vibe to like the Back to the Future home.
Exactly.
Yeah.
It's a puppy. Right.
I like the dog. Do you like the dog in this, Daniel?
I think I like most dogs, don't I?
I think you do. I guess we're never going to get around to the Cujo rewatch, right? No,
probably not.
That is an adorable dog. I'll say that.
It is cute.
All right.
I appreciate that it's not a designer dog. Not there's anything wrong with those, but
now I'm thinking Billy Peltzer is what, a year or two out of high school, maybe.
It's the impression I get.
Because I don't think he's in high school now. Maybe this is his. Maybe he couldn't go off to school because he didn't have the money, so he's working at the bank to save up or something like that. And
yeah, or maybe the bank is his career.
That's true. I don't think he likes his job that much, though.
Here we get Gizmo's theme, which is a very pretty theme.
Now that is a nice audio animatronic character, and I do kind of miss that. There is a realism to that.
Oh yeah.
You know, originally Gizmo was going to turn into the bad gremlin, but Steven Spielberg said, "No, we need Gizmo to sell toys. I mean, we need Gizmo to stay cute for the audience."
Right.
Yeah,
that was the sign of the times back then, right? It's you got to have your leader to sell the toys, and
I mean, no, for the audience, he's got to be there for the audience.
Yeah,
he's our heart and soul of the film. People will want to take him home and buy dolls and T-shirts and cereal and house slippers because he's so cute, like Baby Yoda.
That's right. The child,
or like the Ewoks, or any number of things back then.
Yeah.
But we like Gizmo.
Yeah, he's very cute.
I like Ewoks.
Yeah,
Melissa's correct. Gizmo is voiced by Howie Mandel. Yeah.
Oh, love Howie Mandel. Oh,
the cast in here. I'm scrolling through, and there are so many names in here that I recognize, and I can't wait to see them in this movie.
Oh, yeah.
Because it's been so. I mean, 1984 is a very long time ago, and just looking at their pictures online, it's going to be hard for me to pick some of them out.
Yeah. Right. Oh, because they always show. I'm sorry.
Toy Habits, you know who voiced the Stripe?
No.
Megatron.
No way.
Frank Megatron Welker.
That's amazing.
Look at that. That is an awesome little effect. And I think this came out. Was it the same weekend as Ghostbusters, or was it
Same
around the
weekend
same
as
time?
Ghostbusters.
Ooh.
$11 million budget, just over 200 million total worldwide. I think like another about $20 million on VHS. So it made some money.
That's a lot of money.
I mean, it doesn't have the budget that Ghostbusters have, but it still feels like a blockbuster movie. The effects in it, I think, are rather good. I like the setting. It's weird in a way. I guess Ghost. Oh, go ahead.
I'm stunned with the animatronics on Gizmo right
Oh,
now. That thing looks real.
Yeah. It looks like a living, breathing creature. Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Cricket.
So he bumped his head. I think too, though, Howie Mandel. You have to give Howie Mandel some credit, though. He does lend a lot of the character
You
too.
also have to give credit to Goldsmith here because the score is the heart for Gizmo, right here.
Yeah.
Now, it would have been interesting if Gizmo was the bad gremlin and then everything comes from that, but then that would have been a straight up horror movie.
Yeah.
It just would have. It wouldn't have had that Spielberg touch. I think. Granted, I don't know if there's much sentimental about Duel or even Jaws, but
this movie was originally a little bit darker. The mother's head, in the kitchen fight, was supposed to get decapitated and roll down the stairs.
No.
Yes.
That would be a totally different movie.
Yeah.
Wow. I don't think we would have remembered it. It's interesting. Gremlins is one of these horror movies that you watch as a kid. And you think, I'm not supposed to be watching this, but you sneak and watch it. But it's not a bad movie for kids. I mean, it's a little darker than your typical kids fare, but it's
for 1980s. It's perfect. We all grew up with it.
Exactly, and I think I don't know that it would have been the classic that it was had they gone more of a darker horror route for it.
All right, is the juicer going to work? That's well. It is. Nope.
Oh.
It's a sticky mess.
And the great Corey Feldman.
That surprised me in this. I was looking for Corey, and I was like, when's he going to show up? And there he is.
He showed up everywhere in 80s movies. Just when you least expect it, there's Corey Feldman. He's
so
was his dad like an executive somewhere?
I don't know, but he's one of the best kid actors I've seen in a lot of movies, though, I think. He was in Friday the 13th Part 4. I think that was his first one.
That was a great movie, by the way, Part 4.
Oh, yeah. Especially the dance by, what's his name? Back to the Future actor. I'm so bad with names right now. Okay. Clark Gable. I want to watch that movie now.
What movie is that?
I don't know. It's a Clark Gable movie about a race car driver, so it can't be that hard to find, but I should.
I think this is a pretty cool bedroom. I know it's an attic, but it's pretty cool.
I dig it.
I know what Jared would say. Hey, you live in your parents' attic. Be a tool. I have a nice apartment, penthouse apartment with cable. You're just watching stuff over your 3 channels.
Boomer is 4 if you counted PBS.
Yeah, I did back in the day. That's where you'd watch Doctor Who. And This Old House. Crispin Glover, yes, he was the one in
Oh, yes.
The great Crispin Glover.
Saw him at my many visits to Comic-Con.
Oh, cool.
Do you enjoy Comic-Con?
I do. I try to take it in as slow as possible because it can be very overwhelming because it's just so huge and there's so many people. But I used to work for Fandom and so I went there for work, one time, and got to spend a lot of time on the show floor.
Oh, cool. Look at that. Now, this part, you get upset. I'm thinking Gizmo's in pain. What's happening here? What do you think of this track here, Birdman?
Kind of ominous.
Yeah.
Yeah. There's a little suspense.
We're still not getting the Gremlins theme.
No, but you're thinking maybe something bad's happened, or maybe, I don't know.
Oh, they're so cute.
They're not as cute as Gizmo, though. You have to admit that they're cuter with what they turn into later, but they're Plus, we need Gizmo to be the good guy because I think in Gremlins 2, doesn't he dress up like Rambo? Isn't that a thing?
Yeah.
We did First Blood last week, so. Also a Christmas movie, right?
Yes. I did watch a little bit of that on replay.
Okay.
Do you know what's been my biggest viewed show?
What?
Basic Instinct rewatch is over 3,500.
You know what? Maybe there aren't that many Basic Instinct rewatches on YouTube. Think about it.
Maybe not.
Maybe people click on it thinking they're going to get to see some of Sharon Stone, and they just hear us talking. And your friend Eric from Canada. He looks sad, and I'm thinking something bad has happened here. I keep thinking maybe, I'm telling you, I wonder if this happened before, like 50 years ago or something. That would be what the prequel would be about. Like maybe in the 1950s or something this happened, or in the 1930s.
This guy's workshop is amazing.
Is that some kind of doll in the background? Was he trying to build the first Teddy Ruxpin or something?
No
He's
one's
really
ever
gung ho on this bathroom buddy thing.
You know, when I was a kid, and when you're a kid, you're not shaving yet or anything else. I'm thinking this bathroom buddy sounds like a pretty good idea. That's what I was thinking.
I don't know. I had facial hair pretty early, so I think I was all into this.
No, I'm redhead.
I had a G.I. Joe electric toothbrush at one point.
You did?
Lucky.
It's pretty awesome. Oh, don't eat my water, baby. Don't eat my water.
What? How many dogs are with you? What's with the dogs tonight, Daniel? Are they hyperactive?
I got the door open to the garage, and everyone's just coming out here and hanging.
How many dogs do you have?
Like 10.
That's awesome.
Oh, look, the
little Donkey Kong machine.
I often wondered about. I had a cousin, I think, had a Pac-Man one of those, and I was always jealous. Yeah.
My friend up the street had the Pac-Man one.
Like a full size?
No, like these little.
The little one that don't like the Donkey Kong one that they just flashed or that they're playing right now.
In fact, I think if I recall, the Soviets were trying to steal those and bring them over to Russia because they had components in them they didn't have access to or something. I don't know if that's a rumor, but that was a thing back in the day. That was. I mean, I remember when I was a kid thinking it was incredible. I don't know how I'd look at it now as an adult, especially with everything that's come since then. But
yeah.
Okay. This scene, I get rather. The upcoming scene is one of the creepiest in the movie, and nothing's actually happened yet that's horrible. But it's what we see is bad enough coming up here.
Originally, the Gremlins were going to eat the dog.
Oh, see now it's just turning into critters at this point, right?
Yeah. Before Critters was Critters. You know, this came out before Critters.
I know.
That's just sick and wrong.
I do like Critters, and I like Critters too.
Aw.
I'm just saying, if someone did that to one of mine, better hope I don't find you.
And of course, he thinks it's Mrs. Deagle, right?
Yeah.
Has to be her. She hates him and is wanting to. No, it's not her.
Poor thing.
Another mini would have been a dogsicle. I don't want to know what that is, but that could be a weapon.
It's an electronic hammer. Everybody needs one. That's pretty cool.
Here's the deal. We make fun of him, but
He's got
sometimes
some really
you
cool
just have to
things.
keep trying till something works, right?
Yeah.
Oh,
That's like a Keurig before we had them, right?
Mm-hmm.
yeah. It's what's coming out of there though. It's
Sludge. We'll get you going in the morning.
that looks awful.
He kind of reminds me of that guy in the Founder. It's that Michael Keaton character who's just trying to make it with something.
Yes, I didn't think of the yes, because when that movie starts out, you're sympathetic to him a bit.
Yeah.
He's trying to sell his milkshake things and everything. It's sort of like you see his descent by the end. It's funny.
Yeah.
I made a point that I watched that and I watched the remake of Dumbo, and it's almost like he's playing the same character in both. He gets his comeuppance in the remake of Dumbo. But no, the Founder, yeah, I felt bad for the McDonald's brothers. At the same time, I understand why he was getting annoyed, because it's like,
Yeah.
can we get rid of the freezers? That's costing us a fortune. We don't need milkshakes. It's like,
Right.
you know,
It's like time to streamline.
I have this
Right,
idea for
we're
a
getting-
heatable. Go ahead.
Oh, we're getting the first Gremlins theme right here.
Mm-hmm.
Oh,
Dun,
yeah.
dun, 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 dun.
You think that theme, you think Gremlins.
Yeah.
I love the fact that the science professor has a pocket protector on his pens.
Yeah.
Are you kidding me? It's,
So this is the science professor at school then? Presumably?
yeah. He's the science teacher. Yeah, he can be
All
a
right.
professor. He teaches I guess he teaches biology at the high school. Okay, that's what he does. Yeah. Because I think Corey Haim's in one of the classes in a later scene in this. You see him in the class while the guy's trying to show him a film strip, and in fact, he kind of reminds me of the character in Ghostbusters Afterlife.
Did you get the proton pack toy habit?
I did not. Did you order? Oh, you mean, sorry, you're talking to Michael. Sorry.
No. I'm not a Ghostbusters collector, and so I think
I'm not either, but it looked pretty sweet.
they did a fantastic job on that proton pack. If I was into Ghostbusters, I would totally get that, but there were just way too many HasLab things to fund this quarter.
You think that's why the Rancor didn't get funded? Because there was like 2 other competing projects, and it's Christmas time.
It was that, and their unlocks were horrible.
They were.
Yeah, I'd heard that too. Yeah, I mean, I think I talked
But-
about that.
Yeah.
I think if you want a
major-
HasLab, you want the HasLab. You're not there for the unlocks, though.
No.
I mean, that's me. I wanted the Sky
Yeah.
Striker. I don't care about. Just give me the Sky Striker.
We got it. Now,
Boomer
driving
just-
drunk in one of those machines, whew,
Oh man, I ain't never driven drunk before, but
I haven't either, but I can imagine. Can't imagine the thing goes very fast either. But
Boomer, did you get the proton pack?
I did not. No, too much other stuff to get. Like I said, gaming's. I spend a lot of my free money goes to either Blu-rays or gaming stuff. I really want one of those analog pockets that just came out, but gonna have to wait.
A
on
what?
that.
What is it?
An analog. It's basically a very fancy, expensive Game Boy. It plays all the old Game Boy games and everything. It just came out
that's great.
recently, but they've been so back ordered because of the chip shortage. So they say pre-order now, but depending on when you pre-order, you might be getting it as late as 2023.
Oh, wow.
But
Like the Sky Striker.
yeah,
Yeah.
pretty much, yeah. but it looks really neat. So I'll get one of these.
Our
days.
most any LP I've ordered this year.
Some cool LPs out there.
Did you order Hook today from Mondo, Boomer?
I did not. Is it? You were telling me that was coming up and running, right?
Yes.
I don't know.
Well, you don't
like.
have to once it's sold out.
Well, it's okay because the Hook score I'm mixed on.
I'm going to borrow you from my life for saying that.
You love the Hook score. It's fine. It's a good.
This is John Williams' best score from the 90s.
Really? You think that more than Jurassic Park?
Yes.
More than Schindler's List?
Yes. I don't. You know what? I don't ever wake up in the morning and I'm like, man, I'm gonna listen to Schindler's List today. Yeah, I've never said that once.
Oh my good! You know
something?
Neither. It's a good score. Okay.
Yes, but I don't.
That's like his scaled down score. Okay.
Nobody goes back to that score. You know, they play a concert piece and then they move on to something happy.
Yeah.
You can't listen to that all damn day.
Okay. I'm just. Anyways. Thursdays. Because I was just wondering if you'd go out on a date with me. Please.
They did a really fantastic job with the snow in this movie, I just have to say.
You're the only woman in my age range in this town. That's what I always wanted to say. It's like...
Coworker romance.
I'm gonna be a big comic book guy someday. I got this idea for a Spider-Man comic where the symbiote attaches to him. And
speaking about Spider-Man, did anyone turn on YouTube this morning and have the movie ruined?
No, so don't say anything.
Okay.
Wait a minute. What? Oh, people spoiling it already. I'll wait.
No, I mean I've like seen almost the entire movie on YouTube clips this morning.
Oh my goodness.
I mean it's all in Japanese, but
no.
I mean I can look at pictures.
We're all gonna just want to see it on or not, but yeah, no.
Yeah, and I got my tickets for this Saturday.
Yeah. Look at that.
Not so bad. The needle's huge.
Yeah, and of course the kid in me, when I'm seeing that scene, I'm sort of on the scientist side because the whole mad scientist thing I'm getting thinking of.
I bet UPS is dropping something else off at the front door.
The dog's going nuts.
Yeah. Hey, it could be something for me.
Okay, so you, Boomer, you think Jurassic Park is a better score than Hook?
Listen to me. I like the Hooks. I'm not saying it's better. I'm just thinking, I know he did more than just Hook, Jurassic Park, and Schindler's List in the 90s. He did Phantom Menace. He did, I don't know. Let me think about this. I'm just out of curiosity. Who did the score to Congo?
Jerry Goldsmith.
Of course, because you get Goldsmith when you can't get because they were like Michael Crichton's hot. Let's do another Michael Crichton book.
Yeah,
Congo comes out not long after Jurassic Park, and then of course it's Jerry Goldsmith that does the score.
But you can't deny the amount of thematic material in Hook. What other movie has that much thematic material aside from maybe the Star Wars trilogy?
I don't know. I'd have to re-listen to the score again. I think I saw the movie once.
Now, do you listen to these scores on vinyl?
Sometimes if I have them on LP. Okay. And today I had the chance to get Hook on LP, but I completely forgot about it and it sold out in like 5 minutes.
Oh no. Sorry.
Yeah, but it's okay. It was $35 today. In 4 months it'll be like $200 on eBay, and I'll just take my money. Take it.
I've been there. I still do that.
I know you do with toys, right?
Oh yeah, all the time.
Yeah, it's like convention exclusive. Oh, it's sold out. Make more of them.
10 seconds later, right? Come on. So the whole not eating after midnight thing really doesn't make sense to me, because what's the cutoff? Is it when
I would
the sun
imagine
comes up?
sunrise. That just kind of makes
Okay.
sense to me for some reason.
I
Right.
imagine it's some kind of magic thing. I don't
'Cause
know. I mean,
It's after midnight all the time until
somewhere.
it comes back around.
Is it a sleep cycle to this? I don't, it doesn't make any sense. You're right. Because even midnight, if it has to do with the sun goes down at different times depending on the year, right? It's just,
Yeah. But it's a cool little plot, little plot twist.
you know what is when you're a kid, you think about the rules. I mean, I do think in many respects, I'm not going to say it's a kid's movie, but a kid's going to understand, like, you're not supposed to do things after midnight. You're supposed to be in bed. You're supposed to, not,
Yeah.
don't get up for that
I mean,
midnight snack because you'll have nightmares or something. It's like,
back in the day, I would argue that this was probably positioned as a kids movie.
It was a family movie.
yeah, until we get
They
these.
helped us for PG-13 rating.
We got a nod
Do
to
I?
aliens in here.
Yep. Yeah, I'm reminded of the pods from Alien. Yeah. This is.
They're just nasty.
Why are you all relaxed right now, Billy? This is that those don't look normal.
These are in his room, right?
Yes.
I would not want to
I'd be
sleep
like,
in there.
hell no, these aren't in my room anymore.
No. Wouldn't that smell very bad?
Yep. What's going on here? They sabotage your clock because they know. I love the scientist, though. I'm telling you, he's just he's excited. He's like Egon. He's wanting to know what's going to come out of this thing. He's all excited now.
I can imagine, like, thinking of the science teacher's life in school on a week-to-week basis. You're going over test material and might do some labs, but like you get a chance to feast your eyes upon some pretty cool species.
Yeah, this was the dream you had as a university student. You wanted to become you want to get in the books.
Yeah.
Those cookies look pretty good, huh?
I could go for some gingerbread cookies.
I like some good gingerbread cookies, yeah.
Okay, so coming up is Steven Spielberg right there in the cart thingy. And Jerry Goldsmith.
Oh, there he is.
Right there. Yes.
Wow.
Huh.
Would not have noticed that.
A lot of other little cameos. You have the time machine from the time machine movie of Robbie the Robot from Forbidden Planet, I believe. Yeah, that's all sorts of things.
Because those are like a invention trade show or something.
Yes, and if you look carefully at the Einstein, you see the two people there. They're like, "Where'd the machine go? It disappeared," because it's a time machine. It's little in joke. You have to look for it. I appreciate this.
That's great.
Do either one of y'all like Gremlins 2?
Never saw it.
I have to say, I only saw it when I was a kid. I don't remember it that well. I've heard many people in recent years claim that it's a very underrated sequel. It kind of turns the original on its head. It's actually supposed to be. It's gotten a lot of praise as going in a different direction than this movie, but I have to rewatch it. That's basically where I'm at. But I have the Gremlins 2 NES game.
Okay.
Nice.
I would say there were way, way, way too many inside jokes in Gremlins 2.
But
is that like inappropriate inside jokes or
no? Just like the Batwing Gremlin flies through the wall and it leaves the Batman emblem on the wall.
Oh, I see.
Well,
it's that's what the whole movie is. That's all that the movie is.
I don't know.
I mean, score wonderful. Don't get me wrong. Jerry Goldsmith's score for Gremlins 2, wonderful. The film, not so much.
I don't know. I'd have to rewatch it. I think maybe you're
Matthew Flynn, gladiator of Cahoon. I'm probably mispronouncing that, but I'm from Alabama, so it's okay. He likes Gremlins too. So
Matthew Flynn is from England.
okay, now listen up, guys. That wailing sound you hear? Do you hear the?
Yeah.
Okay,
Yeah,
that was some of the synthesizer.
Oh,
see, I'm a kid. I don't know how they're making this sound. It's like this,
Yeah.
this horrible wailing, and I'm like,
the music
Get
is
out
great
of-
though. The score is great for the scene.
the 80s was big on slime and pus and stuff like that in movies. What film strip is he showing there? Is that some old Disney science strip or something? That's what that felt like. Like
You're old boomer. You don't remember those old real things that you watched in grade school?
we watched one. I had the grammar school the elementary school teacher showed us one, and it had animated sequences in it, and
Watch the red balloon.
yeah. Oh, the red balloon. Oh, I see. But we watched something about where it ended with oh, the secret of all life is seawater, seawater, and the cartoon characters start laughing at him, and then okay, well then you find out what they're talking about. And I think it was an old Disney film strip he made for schools or something. Turn on the light. They don't like the bright light. Okay. Smokey. Oh, Smokey.
Yep. Only you can prevent forest fires.
Remember when I was in middle school, they had one of the taller. I think it was like a joint. It was a Catholic school, so it was like a joint middle school, elementary school, and they had one of the older kids dressed up as Smokey, and all the kids were going by them. Like the firefighters, like, "Oh, it's Smokey, it's Smokey," and like he comes out, and then one of the other teenagers smacks him in the head. It doesn't come loose, but it kind of swivels a bit his mask, and it's like, come on. I remember Smokey. Like you look at him, and it's like you feel really bad if like you toss the match because like he's just looking at you with those disapproving eyes.
Oh yeah,
it's
those Teddy Ruxpin eyes.
Yeah. Oh, Teddy Ruxpin. I never had one of those, and I kind of wanted one. I kept imagining.
I've lost so much respect for you, Boomer.
Why? Because I wanted
I'm just
one?
seeing it unravel.
Whatever. He's got a Snickers bar.
Product placement.
You know, in the 80s, you have to wonder what's product placement and what is. I guess it was. It probably was, but it never felt like it. Like
Coca-Cola
it does now.
can, the Snickers.
It never feels like how it is now with movies with some of the product placement.
I remember Raisinets paid a lot of money being Back to the Future, and it didn't quite work out for them.
Really?
I guess the candy has to taste good too. So.
Burn!
I like Raisinets.
No, I do too. But you put Raisinets against like Kit Kat bars or Twix.
No,
there's going to be some clear winners there.
I'm like Mel Brooks, though. I think Raisinets. What he say? If you go to the guy when he's going to the theater and Blazing Saddles, he asks for a box of Raisinets because that's the movie theater food, right? That's Raisinets. I do like Goobers, though. I think I prefer Goobers more than Raisinets. So I'm weird that way. But
now, is this the same? Is this the same high school and probably Back to the Future? That same facade.
I would imagine. So.
I wonder. Yep. Yeah, maybe.
It's the same lot.
Look very familiar because like that's one movie that I watch over and over and over again.
Oh, that's a classic. I love all three of them, but yeah, I like the original.
Oh no.
Yeah. Oh, you forgot about this, didn't you? You haven't seen this since you were a kid.
Yeah.
And I'm thinking, is he dead? Is he not? I guess he's dead. Maybe he got knocked out. He probably wanted to kill the thing to dissect it, right?
Yeah.
It was funny. I used to watch that In Search of series. There was they did the episode on Bigfoot, and they had this scientist says, "What we have to do about the Bigfoot is we have to capture one and dissect it." And then they're talking to a forest ranger that says that would not be allowed. There is actually a law in the book saying that if you encounter a Bigfoot in the wild, you cannot just shoot and kill it. You can't do that. They're actually that's actually a true thing. They're actually protected. If such a thing exists, you
Wow.
are not allowed to just shoot at it, which I thought was
I
funny.
imagine it would be an endangered species.
Yeah, so the forest, the park rangers are actually on the side. If there is such a thing, you have to leave it alone. But the scientist was just very clinical and saying, "No, we have to capture one and open it up." That's what he was saying.
Billy's just he's kind of chill through all this. It's like I'd be
He's
freaking
way
out.
chiller than I would be.
Yeah. It's like, all right, got a scratch on my hand. I'll bandage it up.
Maybe he's just depressed and like he's like, I want the fancy cars and the cable TV like Joe.
I want 5 channels.
Yes. I don't want to watch old Clark Gable movies. I want to watch Gary Cooper movies. It's like, okay, this is oh man.
Ooh.
Oh. This movie kind of, it just when the proverbial something hits a fan, it does. It really hits the fan in this because. And I love the mom. The mom knows something's up.
That instinct, right?
That motherly instinct just kicks in. She knows. Did they throw him down the laundry chute?
Yeah.
Oh.
And does anyone know if Evil Dead was playing on the TV in the background? I've never seen Evil Dead, so I couldn't.
Oh, I don't know.
Don't know.
I would think the mom wouldn't be watching Evil Dead, but who knows? It's.
I don't know. She was going in her son's room with a butcher knife for no reason at all. All right, hear this right here. Hear these violins. Dun, dun, dun. And the way the violins just kind of like squealing a little bit. Goldsmith did that for the Mephisto waltz for like the entire film. That is the scariest film score ever produced. It makes The Omen look like a Disney movie.
Okay.
I am not joking. I sent it to you, Boomer, last year for Christmas.
Yes.
Yeah. Does it not scare you when you listen to it?
It's eerie. It's eerie.
Which movie?
The Mephisto waltz.
The Mephisto waltz
came out in the 70s.
I think it's another one of these Satan pictures, right? Like which is cult, that sort of thing. Yeah.
Yeah. It's got a naked chick on the album cover.
Oh, that's awful. Okay. I'll have to make sure not to look that up later. Okay.
I sent it to you. You have it. You have a
copy. I know. I'm just messing with. I'm doing it for effect. Okay. Anyway.
Okay.
Some nice vinyl records there, huh? That's actually a pretty nice setup there, huh?
Yep.
It is nice.
My mother came over for Thanksgiving and she's like, "How many records do you have?" I'm like, "About 300."
It's interesting. Back in the day, I think the entertainment center wasn't the television. It was the stereo. It was the vinyl record player. Even after television came out, I think the main focal point of your house would be your sound system.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
I agree.
And so it should be.
Yeah. This. I don't know. This might is this the most tense scene in the movie for you? Either of you? I mean, this. I like her because she's smart. She understands that whatever's happened, even by looking at those pods, there's something wrong in the house.
She's not friendly.
She is actually being proactive, but at the same time, what do you do with something like this? That's what she's thinking, probably.
I mean, I hightail and run when there's a little bug in the house, and like I couldn't imagine one of. Ooh.
Yes.
That was nasty.
Yes, my current workplace has been having a bit of a flying bug that stings problem that rhymes with wasp. Anyway, okay.
She's very resourceful. You got to give her that.
Yeah. No, I mean, I gave her full on points.
I mean, she just stabbed one to death on the countertop. I mean,
that's what you do, though.
That's intense.
She's not screaming. She's not running and hiding. She's being proactive, which is what you got to do with these horrible, horrible creatures. And
there you go.
To the Gremlin, this is a hard movie right now for the Gremlins because they're getting stabbed to death and put in food processors and getting microwaved. It's like, it's like letting loose one of these some cookies and make a mess.
That's a bad way to go. I almost feel sorry for the Gremlin.
Yeah.
In that part.
Yeah, I did read that Ebert did not love this scene because he thought that kids would start to replicate this with their own pets. So he liked the movie in general, just dinged the movie for this scene.
Of course.
And I don't think that ever was a reported case of any child ever doing that. So.
No,
I hope not. Yeah.
Usually
it's
some fool on TikTok did put their puppy in the dryer and laughed about it.
Oh,
not cool. And the internet will come after you for that. Okay.
Yeah, and they did.
The stockings hung by the chimney with care.
Christmas movie.
Yes.
Now this Christmas tree thing, this scared me the most as a child.
Well, come on. It's like you have this thing in the tree and the tree's attacking her. It's like,
I think I was actually scared of the Christmas tree that year.
Dante, what do you do?
We didn't have Christmas trees growing up, so I'm really glad that I didn't really remember this part of the movie.
No, I understand. Oh. And look, she's being choked with those lights, too. Finally, Billy's here. Billy!
Again, cool, calm, and collected.
Get the sword, knock him into the fire. These things are evil.
Matthew Flynn, I have Amadeus sitting on my desk with something for Zootopia, Sir Ian, and then you, and then Boomer's Christmas present. I am horrible at sending stuff. I have not forgotten your Amadeus. I just completely suck at going to the post office and mailing things.
Amadeus,
I do apologize for that. It is still coming. It's like molasses uphill in the wintertime. It's slow, and I do apologize for that.
No,
but you will have Amadeus.
It's been a weird Christmas season. I don't blame you. If it comes later, I have something to look forward to. Don't worry. Amadeus.
Yeah. And Boomer, in your Christmas box, you have Christmas, you have Halloween, and you've got the RoboCop. Was it RoboCop 2 you wanted?
What? RoboCop was great.
Was it RoboCop 2? You said you liked RoboCop 2, and Eric and I were both making fun of you, and I felt sorry.
I like that score. I just don't own it. Oh, man.
Okay, well, it's in your Christmas box. It's just not a Christmas present, so don't confuse it as such.
Oh, my goodness.
Not wrapped. That's why it's not wrapped.
You've been up and spending money.
Only Christmas is wrapped, okay?
So, I like Robbie the Robot. Robbie the Robot's wearing the hat now.
What's that thing he's talking on there? Is that one of them newfangled inventions?
Yes.
A telephone?
It's a telephone, yes.
Actually, did come across a payphone recently at a high school. My son's in marching band, and we went to a competition, and I was like, why do they still have these here?
What instrument does it play?
That's interesting. They got a payphone at the high school.
He plays the quad toms in drumline.
I guess for the parents that don't buy their kids cell phones, I guess. I don't know.
Yeah, maybe.
That was the thing in that movie with Neil Patrick Harris, 8-Bit Christmas. His daughter wanted a cell phone for Christmas. Says, "You're not getting a cell phone for Christmas." I didn't, and he talks about how the thing he wanted for Christmas was a Nintendo, and that was the whole. It's kind of like a modern day Christmas story, except instead of he's thinking about the '80s, and he wanted an NES when he was a kid, and they do flashbacks. It's interesting.
I got Rebecca the new Apple Watch for Christmas because she said she always wanted an Apple Watch.
Oh, wow.
And the salesman's like, you can get $200 off your second Apple Watch. And I'm like, I don't want an Apple Watch. But I got it for her daughter. So now I kind of walk away from that deal. I mean, it dropped it down to like $125. I mean, would you walk away from that deal? Anybody?
No.
Yeah, that's pretty cool.
Of course, now you have to pay for service on it for the, for all eternity. But
well, how sharp are their claws? Oh no, he fell.
Have you ever been scratched by a dog or a cat, Boomer?
What?
You ever been scratched by like a dog or a cat?
Cat,
yeah, I think so.
Yeah.
But I mean, you saw the marks it left on the mom's face. That's pretty deep.
Now, here's where I think the movie. How many Gremlins could this make? How many drops of water are in a swimming pool?
That's a great question.
A lot.
I'm going to tell you right now.
Will the internet know?
I'm going to find out really due time.
Mr. Wizard would have known. Does anybody know who Mr. Wizard was? Am I dating myself?
Oh, Mr. Wizard, yeah.
Okay.
I don't like these cops. These cops are bad cops.
I'm trying to think if these cops reference another movie too. I'm trying to think.
All right, so 20 drops of rain makes a milliliter. 20,000 raindrops would be a liter, and then you multiply that by 2.5 million, and that's how many drops.
Yeah, see,
would fit.
see, and there aren't 2.5 million Gremlins in a movie theater. Maybe there's a limit to how many can pop out at once. But no, that's not what we see. See, no, I'm thinking that there's like an army of Gremlins out there still hiding after this movie is done. Probably right,
This is a cute scene, though. Stripe just kind of walks out, and then all the others come on.
Gusto, yum yum. It's a lot.
Wow. Was that all produced from the pool?
Yeah.
Actually, what
That's
movie is
probably the worst. I mean, the worst holding up special effects shot in this film.
It is, yeah. It does look a little stop motion. I don't really have a problem with it, especially when you were younger. I just went with it. But probably for modern audiences, they might look at that. The kids might say, what is he watching?
Toy Habits, did you get the that really big Lego AT-AT set?
I don't collect Legos, so no. My son collect Legos and build them, but no, I mainly I don't touch Star Wars. I mainly I'm all about G.I. Joe and Masters of the Universe.
I just kind of buy what I like, which I really like that Lego set, but what was it, like $700-800?
Yeah, it's like the huge Millennium Falcon cost, right?
Yeah, and it also sold out by the time I heard about it. So
sorry.
Keeps complaining about the foreigners. That was a big thing in the 80s. They were all worried about Japan like taking over.
But I heard Boomer got one for you, and it's gonna be a surprise. Oh, sorry.
What?
Sorry about that.
Listen to you. Listen.
I feel bad.
I
got you with that $1 million Donkey Kong game.
Yeah. What?
The one that sold on eBay for like $1 million something.
Is this a cartridge?
Yes.
People don't be paying millions of dollars for those sealed games. It's been revealed that it's shady and you're going to lose a lot of money. Okay. Don't do it.
Okay. So
speaking of which, I have a sealed Rayman 2 for the Nintendo 64. If anyone wants to give me $500,000 for it, it's got foil wrapping. Super Mario 64 doesn't have a foil wrapping.
There's a lot of levity in the music here for what's going on.
And when you can, because if you didn't have that though, this would be just like straight up like, oh my God, he's getting run over by a snowplow.
Right.
And you wonder, is it really appropriate? Should it not go back to the string heavy, scary? But
Yeah.
the lightheartedness is what sticks in you guys. You're like, dun, 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 you know, and
I think
the
it's
score
great.
really does make the film. But on the one hand, it's like, should we be having a good time with this?
They
Or should
were
this be more serious?
right.
Well, in a way, these are almost like demented Looney Tunes type characters. I almost think like these are like the Tasmanian Devil or so. I don't know. It's like, oh no, his hand's stuck.
But we've had a tremendous shift in tone musically from 10 minutes ago when Mom was fighting for her life in the kitchen to now they're just ransacking the town.
Yeah. And they're having a grand old time.
They are.
Look at his face. He's thoroughly enjoying this.
Well, they were saying, "Oh, you're crazy to think these are gremlins." You know, actually, no, there was a Looney Tunes cartoon about a gremlin. In fact, did they show a scene from that in this movie about the gremlin attacking doing something in the plane? Now, let's see if you know what other movie had a gremlin in it around this period, Daniel.
Twilight Zone?
Yep, Twilight was on the movie. John Lithgow, the John Lithgow scene.
Goldsmith scored the Twilight Zone too.
There you go. Okay.
And he did some work on the TV show back in the day. The original.
To be fair, I think the gremlin in the Twilight Zone movie was scarier. I'll say that.
Yeah. Yeah, tearing up the airplane wing. Yeah, that freaked me.
Oh, that's what you were talking about. Yeah, I was horrified when I saw that as a kid.
You should have been.
Wow.
Listen to me, kid.
I love some of the police uniforms in these in the older movies. They kind of look like Boy Scout uniforms.
They do. They do.
Well,
I'm thinking too. It's like the two police in the town. That's what I'm thinking.
Yeah.
You know?
And they're even wearing campaign hats like the Boy Scouts used to do.
Yep.
Oh, how many cats does Mrs. Deagle have? I wonder. I'm just thinking. I don't know.
Maybe as many dogs as Birdman.
I think she has more cats than I have dogs. And you know, what's the difference between a guy that has 10 cats and a guy that has 10 dogs? One of them is creepy. The other one's just cool.
Okay. Yeah, like the character on True Detective, the last season 3, he had in his older age, he actually housed a lot of dogs. All right.
I mean, I just have problems just taking care of my one cat. It's a lot of cat litter.
One cat? That's kitty litter,
that
right?
She does like, no.
Now, it's funny. I think her reaction is, are the demons going to take me away now? Is that what it is? That's what she sees.
Yeah.
Yeah, see, they're here. They've come for me. Oh, that's funny. I'm sorry.
But we kind of switched back to some more serious tone musically.
Oh. Wow.
Hello, Linda Morris. I don't think I've seen your name before. Welcome to the show. Hope you're having a good night.
Bet Mrs. Deagle had a great time filming this scene. shot up and out of the house.
Oh, that's awful. I feel bad. Look at this. Hey,
Yeah,
police
get out of the car.
officers, do something.
You got a gun and you got a nightstick.
They're attacking Santa. Don't stand there. Do something. Start the car. I'd like to get back to the station.
Now again, the tone of the music again, right?
It's gone back to somber. Yeah.
Yeah. Or it sounds like it's like in the middle of like a frenetic and somber tone to it. Now it's getting a little silly.
Yeah.
Oh, jeez. Don't try this at home.
I just realized the guy playing the deputy, that he was on Breaking Bad, wasn't he? That was that
Jonathan Banks?
Yeah. Oof. He was also in Beverly Hills Cop. He was the guy that worked for Mr. Maitland.
It's funny because I was trying to pick out who Jonathan Banks is in this movie, and I couldn't until you mentioned.
No, it's him. I didn't recognize him either. I'm like, wait, that's him. Because usually he plays villains, but he's not. Hi, my name's Pete. These green guys are running around wrecking things. Getting fed up with all this Orson Welles crap. Okay. How would you handle a gremlin infestation, Birdman?
If it was in my house,
Yeah.
I think the wolf pack would take care of it for me.
Oh, that's true. The dogs are useful that way.
If not, there's a Beretta around somewhere I can grab. So
I love this. He keeps trying to sell this smokeless ashtray, which I think is the worst invention he's made. I think it actually spews smoke out instead of actually like maintaining it.
how does an ashtray break exactly?
I think it's supposed to suck the smoke in. Like
I think they actually made those in the 80s though, like maybe the late 80s, because I remember seeing infomercials for things like those.
Oh, really?
Mm-hmm. Do they still make infomercials?
Yes.
Yeah, I mean, aren't you up at like 1 a.m. watching them?
They tend to be on cable news channels after.
If it's not on YouTube, I honestly don't see it anymore. And I don't get commercials on YouTube because I pay for it. So, no more commercials for me.
Look at that. Well, I just got AMC Plus because it was on sale for $24 for the whole year. So I figured, why not?
What's on AMC Plus, my friend?
I don't know, but it's supposed to come with Shudder, and I was curious about that because I've always wanted to try a Shudder subscription. And apparently it comes with the AMC Plus, and it was only $24 for the whole year. So I figured because Shudder's like the horror streaming channel, so I'm kind of curious. On AMC Plus, you know what's on it? All the Star Trek movies that aren't on Paramount Plus. But let's not bring that up again. Let's not bring that up again. Let's not talk about it. Let's talk about Gremlins, okay? Oh, he's flashing her. Disgusting.
You never had any clothes on to begin with.
Which party gremlin would you be, Boomer?
I don't know.
This guy right here playing the video games.
Oh, I'd probably be the one with the. What's he playing? Was that Defender or no? That's not Defender. That's Tempest. It looks like maybe. I don't know.
Was that one of the old Star Wars games, or was it Tempest?
Oh, you know what? No, it might have been Star Wars.
I think that was the Death Star run.
It might have been the Death Star trench run. Yeah. Okay.
I love that game.
Yep. In fact, I think 1UP Arcade was supposedly doing a reproduction of that. If you're into getting those, but yeah. Look at Spike. He's got the mohawk.
Oh, the old boombox.
Now, I think this would be you, Mr. Toy Habits. You'd be the guy just sitting here listening to jazz, like
most
chilling
definitely.
out. Yeah.
Most definitely.
Oh, I like the puppet. It's a puppet show. Don't we all want to act like gremlins some nights, though? Think about it, right? Am I wrong here?
Probably not. No.
Like trashing places and causing a ruckus. No, okay.
You can just call me Duke Silver.
Call you what?
You can just call me Duke Silver from Parks and Rec.
Oh, I haven't seen Parks. I need to catch up on Parks and Rec. I did watch the first season of it. I did enjoy it when I watched it. Is that the Flashdance reference?
That's awesome.
That's it. I would be the gremlin shoving the finger into the wattage. That's what I would be, probably. Actually, I did bite into a Christmas bulb on a dare on my brother when I was younger, when I was a kid.
You lived to tell about it?
What?
You lived to tell about it.
Yeah, my parents were not too ecstatic about that. They were not happy.
How do they film a scene like this? Like, there's so much going on. There's so many animatronic things moving around.
Well, I don't know. I think part of it's puppeteering too. Some of it's animatronic, and some of it might be puppeteering. Maybe I don't know. It's maybe it's a combination of both. I can imagine. I don't know if any of the Jim Henson people were on this, or maybe people at least that worked with them. But
who would have thought a Kodak camera would be such a lethal weapon, or a Polaroid camera?
Yeah. Well.
Oh. The ski mask.
This is turning into a Death Wish movie now. This is. Well, they have to have a weakness, right? That'd be Gremlins 3. Some scientist is trying to figure out the way to make gremlins impervious to daylight or something, right?
Yeah.
It'd be Vincent D'Onofrio's character from Jurassic World. He wants to, imagine if we had some of these gremlins in Tora Bora,
Tora Bora.
No, that was the line in Jurassic World where he goes.
I remember that.
We wanted the Velociraptors for Tora Bora, and the Chris Pratt character. He's looking at are you nuts? He's sorry, you don't use. We want to make miniature raptors for war. No, don't do that. That would be. Oh, are we going to get to the sad Phoebe Cotes story?
Yeah, the studio wanted to cut that out of the film.
But, I don't know. And that's an urban legend, by the way. I believe that's a famous urban legend.
I saw 3 different sources report it, though. So I'll go with it's legit.
You think it's a legit story? I think it's an urban legend. Did you go to Snopes?
No.
You don't trust Snopes. Okay, well, Snopes usually debunks this stuff.
I read it. I read it in the Film Score Monthly liner notes for the release of this Film Score.
Okay.
And I read it on 2 places on the internet. And the internet never did lie to me. It always tells me the truth.
Yeah, okay.
Lies to everybody else.
It lies to everybody else. Remember at work, I had to take this cybersecurity testing, and you see this hacker, and he says, "My name is Sparrow. I hack for money," or something. It's like.
Matthew Flynn brings up a good point. They could use Blade's blood to make the Gremlins daywalkers.
Yeah, there you go. Let's have the Blade Gremlins crossover. I think that could be.
Is anybody else excited for the Morbius movie?
I don't know. It's part of that Sony Venom verse, right? The without Spider-Man.
Is it the Venom verse or the Spider verse?
I don't think it's related to the Spider-Man with this. I think it's related to Venom. I don't know. We'll see. Maybe it'll be good. You never know. Instead, they pulled out my father. Yes, he was stuck in the chimney. Look at Gizmo here in the story. It's like, I didn't hear this. He was dressed in a Santa Claus suit. Okay.
I don't think my chimney's big enough for anyone to slide down.
This did not happen.
So are you saying she's just making up a story to get attention?
No, I'm saying that it's a movie, okay? So, of course, made-up stuff happens in movies. I'm saying that this is based on an urban legend. And I don't think it's ever been verified. It'd be funny if Billy Peltzer, like, after hearing that story about her dad and the things, is like, yeah, listen, can we be friends? You know? Just, actually, that wouldn't happen. I know, never mind. It's not that funny.
I mean, I like you and all, but I don't like.
I don't want to hear this story every night we go on a date. It's like, actually, I'll say this: it will be love if he comes back after hearing that story. On like,
well, they're married in the second film.
Oh, that's right. They are.
Matthew, you are rather skinny, so you might be able to spit down the chimney. But if you break your neck and die, I'm calling the fire department. So,
okay.
You know, I had to call the fire department on Sunday because I got stuck in an elevator.
Oh, that sounds fun.
It was not fun. I was very, very much annoyed.
That sounds horrifying.
I just got angry about it, and I got through it.
What would you have done if...
Hard.
How long were you in there?
15, 20 minutes.
Okay.
Probably felt like longer, maybe.
I was like, let's see what's on eBay. What can I spend money on?
Right.
What would you have done? What would you have done if it had been like in the Omen 2 and you heard like the cable like flying above you?
You know, I told you I got that new client. It's just like a piece of shit building from like the 1950s. It's that building with the elevator. Every time it goes up, it goes like does that. It was that elevator.
Oh.
And I really thought I went up to the second floor, but I never left the first floor, but it made a lot of racket. So, yeah, I think I'm going to drop that client. I'm for that and other reasons, but I was not.
I don't know. You might find the treasure map that tells you where the gold is in that old building.
I don't care.
Okay.
Don't care.
All right.
Straw that broke the camel's back.
Yeah.
So this is interesting. Think about this. What movie is playing in this movie?
Snow White.
This is a Warner Brothers made movie, and somehow they got Disney to loan them Snow White. How bad a shape must have Disney been in at this point in time?
I hadn't thought about that.
Allow them to throw Snow White on the screen. They were probably just looking for money. The Warner Brothers wants to pay us. Just give them Snow White. We don't care. We need money.
Wait, this is a Warner Brothers movie, but they also filmed it in Universal?
Yeah.
Interesting. Well, the Universal can loan out that back lot. I don't know. Does Warner Brothers have a lot? I would think they did, didn't they? Yeah.
Oh yeah, they do. I took a tour of it.
The part was the Warner Brothers lot.
Oh.
Is that the Russian gremlin?
Yeah, I guess, of course, right? I don't even know if they even sold any of the other Gremlins besides Spike and Gizmo that I recall, though.
They do now. They sell Flasher Gremlin.
They do? Okay.
They do.
Now, I remember Snow White did get a re-release in the 80s, but I don't think it was at this time. I did, because I did see it on the big screen when I was a kid. They re-released Snow White. They re-released Pinocchio.
Yeah, Matthew Flynn brings up a good point. Disney 80s movies didn't do very well. Not until Little Mermaid came along and it turned that boat around.
Yeah, we did a Black Cauldron stream last year sometime. It was interesting. It's I don't mind the Disney. See, that's the thing. Those Disney animated movies were my movies when I was a kid, though. Like Oliver and Company, that was another one that had a soundtrack made by Billy Joel. You like Billy Joel? Okay, because
He's okay.
Oliver and Company, Great Mouse Detective, that was another one.
Looks like Snow White also appears in the Gremlins 2 movie as well.
Interesting. I guess the Gremlins liked that movie.
Yeah. They all wanted to watch it again.
You're gonna blow up the town movie theater.
They just tore one of our movie theaters down a couple months ago here.
Oh no.
That was very sad.
Was that a victim of the pandemic?
Yeah.
Okay.
Was it like an old school movie theater or?
It was built in the mid-90s. It was a pretty nice theater. 16 screens, I think.
Oh, wow, that's big.
Yeah. Now, this scene against the movie screen's horrific.
Yeah.
Shadows stepping up in the claws.
Yeah. You better get out of Dodge.
And we're getting the somber music again.
She's gonna blow.
Would this really work in real life?
I don't know. You always see it in movies.
I think it would be a much bigger explosion in real life.
Think so?
Yeah. I mean, just a small. Well, there went a bigger one. Just a small little gas leak in a neighborhood in San Bruno lit up the whole neighborhood.
Oh.
Wow.
So yeah, it would cause a lot of damage.
Remember that fertilizer plant blew up? They had the video online many years ago. That was horrifying.
That's true.
But that scene where they came out of the movie theater is where Doc Brown rounds the corner and he goes, "Woo! I'll send it back to the future."
Yep. But that's the magic of the movies in the 80s.
Yeah.
You know, you think these are all distinct blocks, but then you think about it now, they're not. It's just you think all American towns had these centers, and
Oh yeah, don't they?
The high school football field, the movie theater in town, the drugstore, all sort. You know, it's all.
Yeah.
Has he got the bling? What is that? He's got the. Is this the movie? So Gizmo doesn't dress up as Rambo in this one, right?
Yeah,
he does. I don't remember now. It'd be a good follow up to last.
Maybe that is.
Maybe it's a sequel.
Yeah, I'm confusing the sequel.
You can buy a Gizmo Rambo on Etsy.
Oh, really?
You can buy a totally bossed, like, demonic gremlin from Sideshow.
Now, minute, Daniel, you're seeing all those old boom boxes, and you're in heaven right now, aren't you?
I would like to find a vintage 5-disc CD changer.
Yeah. Some nice CRTs.
I got to see if my wife's parents still have theirs, because I remember they had a 5-disc CD changer player.
Oh, really?
In their house. So
cool.
Yeah, I don't think they got rid of it.
I had one, but it died on me.
Oh.
I got all my stereo equipment from the thrift store except for my record players, speakers, receivers, CD, tape deck, everything.
Cool.
So like currently or back in the day?
Like now.
Oh, now? That's a great idea, actually.
Yeah, you can find some good stuff in a thrift store sometimes. Yeah.
I mean, I didn't just get on the same day and get everything, but just keep looking. They say the receivers made back in the 90s are better than what they make today.
I can believe it. Yeah.
Oh, there's E.T. Check that out.
Oh, funny. Yeah, nice little reference there.
Had to throw them in there.
I kept thinking Spike was just
toy stores, right?
Yeah, I mean they keep talking about bringing Toys R Us back, but I don't know. I heard they were going to make it part of Macy's or something, but
I saw it, and they got toys in there, but it's not the same.
Too bad.
I don't think toy stores have been the same since probably like the mid 90s. Because I remember, when we were kids, they had the G.I. Joe aisle. Remember the G.I. Joe aisle? Remember the Star Wars aisle?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. The entire aisle. It's just G.I. Joe and Star Wars.
Yeah, it's floor to ceiling.
Yeah. And you just look up so high and be like, I can almost touch the USS flag.
The flag. I knew you'd see that. Gets me right here.
Did you ever have one?
No, I never did. I never had a friend that had one. Larry's friend had one, though, and he would play with it down the street. So.
Do you have one now?
No. If I did have one now, one, I'd be broke, and I'd probably use it. I want to use it as a coffee table. So.
I made an aircraft carrier out of like some 2x4s and stuff.
There you go.
Wasn't quite the same, but
Spike is messing him up.
Do you think they'll HasLab a USS flag?
They have to make one.
What will it cost?
I know people will argue with me on this one, but I don't think they can make it for more than $500. Like, I don't think people would pay more than $500 for one.
I think it would cost $1,500.
Probably.
I mean,
I'm trying to think what's their most expensive thing that they've sold so far.
Unicron was $600.
That one was expensive, yeah.
I really wanted it. If they had given me a payment plan, I would have bought 3. One in Planet, one in Robot, one in the box.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, I guess you're probably right. I mean, Jabba's sail barge was $500, so.
And that was how many years ago?
That was 3 years ago, yeah.
He's got a chainsaw.
Yeah, Unicron 575. I'm just saying, I would not be this resourceful and think of all this stuff to go flip on all the lights in a department store.
Yeah. Phoebe Cotes has some nice hair in this.
She's got nice everything, Boomer. I mean,
I'm just saying. Well, I'm just pointing out a particular asset. That's all.
Okay.
So, water, gun.
So that was Megatron, eh?
Yep. He's done a lot of work.
Look at that. Oh, I
They
didn't know
did
that.
make this into a toy though. Little Gizmo riding around in a little pink Corvette.
I remember that. Yeah.
Boomer, did you ever have a Barbie dream car?
No.
No? Okay. And there's no shame if you did, you know.
Look, I hate to break
It's
this to you
okay.
too. I didn't have Barbie. I didn't have G.I. Joe either, dude. I'm sorry.
Yeah, that's still like a divide between us and
I
our friends.
know. Yeah. I had Mad Scientist kits. Remember those?
Yeah, that's just lame, my friend.
No, it
That's-
is not. That is the exact opposite of that. Okay. Oh, don't knock Mad Scientist kits. Those are like the coolest toys.
Okay.
I love those. You could dissolve the flesh off of the creature's bones, and I think they got into trouble when they came out. The parents groups did not like those Mad Scientist kits. That was the thing. Dude, you got to stop. He's going to make more, and it's going to be the end of civilization as we know it. You have to stop Spike. Do it, Gizmo. Yeah, he's not in the Rambo outfit in this one. He's in the car. Okay, that's right. How old is Gizmo?
I get the feeling he's very, very old, like ancient old.
Mm-hmm. Oh.
And this holds up so well 30 years later. 40 years later? How many years has it been? A couple of years later. It still holds up very well.
It is gross.
It is pretty nasty.
I hate to clean up this place, huh?
Yeah. I think the whole town's kind of jacked, though.
Well, you know. Wonder how the authorities are going to explain it all away.
Mass hysteria.
Rabid raccoons, maybe, huh?
Bad eggnog.
Just a bunch of raccoons, radioactive raccoons, right? They got into some...
Yes, Matthew Flynn. What happens if the gremlin falls into the ocean? A whole lot of not good.
Well, I have a question. Does salt water do anything? I don't know. Ew, the bones are melting too. Ew.
What about distilled water? Would that do something different?
I don't know. I think the bones have to melt so there's no evidence that these things existed.
I was like, they're really playing this one out.
I love the fact the dog's looking and it starts bubbling. He's like, I'm getting out of here.
Yeah.
Could like Spike reconstitute himself like Chucky?
I don't think so.
Okay.
I think
that's going to happen. Like the
a little too far gone. Do you remember Tom Bergeron from America's Funniest Home Videos?
Yeah.
He's in this movie, and I got to figure out what part he plays and where he is. I've been looking for him. The old mercury thermometers.
Bet he'd like some chicken soup. He gave the money back.
What they did with the gremlins' corpses, Melissa, that's a good question.
You teach them to watch television?
I want to learn how to speak Mogwai.
I warned you. Yeah, nobody ever means it.
No.
True.
That's a very powerful line.
Yeah, this is a good reason why you don't give like a dog or a cat or something to a child for Christmas. It's not a toy.
Yeah. To hear one only has to listen. Yep. Oh, that breaks your heart.
Oh.
But I like this last part. Maybe perhaps someday you will be ready. He says to Billy. See. There's only one other one. This is my invention. Smokeless ashtray. He's gonna take it. Sure, it'll come in handy. Does that come into the sequel, The Smokeless Ashtray?
No.
They don't ever mention it again, do they?
No.
That should be the forbidden object that someone finds down there later on. It's the smokeless ashtray, and there's a whole movie set around that and disaster it causes.
But it sounds like everything else comes into the movie besides the smokeless ashtray.
But he got the girl, right?
And that's a very nice matte painting right there.
It's very Norman Rockwell-esque, right? Come on. It's Americana. There you go. It's a map painting. Because you never can tell what. There just might be a gremlin in your house.
And then we end it with the hippity hoppity gremlin theme instead of the serious Mephisto Watts gremlin theme.
Well, you got to get the kids excited when they leave the theater, right?
Yeah. And I left the theater with that stuck in my head.
Tune stuck in your head as you're going to the toy store to buy the merch.
Yes, right.
Well, did they have merchandise out right away for this movie, or did it take a little while? Okay, so they were thinking
they had like Gizmo everything, pajamas, gumball machines, cereal, paper plates, beach towels.
I remembered I hadn't seen the movie.
Trading cards too.
There were trading cards. I remember this was out in theaters that come to cable, and everybody was screaming about Gremlins like big deal. And then it was on Showtime, so I watched it like this is the best movie ever. That was because I did not catch this in the theater. I caught it on TV, but I loved it. Okay, so
I think they learned from Star Wars, where they didn't have the toys out when the movie came out, and so I think everybody was like, "All right, we got to make the toys when the movie comes out."
Yeah. Yes, people learned a lot from Star Wars.
What did they do with the Kremlin's corpses? The government No, there were no corpses left. They were all destroyed. That's what I'm assuming, because the others went up in the fire in the theater. All 10 million gremlins were in there. They fit in there, and I don't know. I'm just assuming that they dissolved. Out of convenience to prove that this never happened.
No.
and it was a bunch of rabid raccoons. That's what did it. Okay. I keep forgetting credits were so short back then. I was watching the last Fast and the Furious movie, and it went on for like 20 minutes. The credits. It's
Yeah. Yeah, it's waiting for those last scenes in Marvel's movies is a killer sometimes.
Yeah. All right.
Wow, this is it for the credits?
Yeah, that's it. No, they Dolby Stereo in selected theaters. Remember stereo? If you got stereo in your theater, that was a big deal. That was the big thing with Walt Disney's Fantasia. He said the only theaters allowed to show this movie are the ones that have a stereo capabilities, and then most of the theaters said we're not doing that. And they said that was the reason it didn't do so hot, because I don't think he would allow a monorail version to come out. I think he was stringent on making sure that was stereo in every theater. Stereophonic sound, that's what they called it back in the day.
There you go.
Okay, well.
So what'd you think about the film? Second time watching in your entire life, Mr. Toy Abbott.
I loved it. There's something about movies from this particular period that, I mean, one, it's a classic, and I had forgotten so many things in this movie.
They're just a lot of fun.
Yeah.
It's just a lot of fun. I think directors were just letting their imaginations run wild back in this period. That's what they did.
Yeah, and I think cueing into the score and stuff, I think, is an interesting way to kind of watch a movie in a very different way. I particularly like, I'm a music fan in general, and it's having scores and just the music, just paying attention to like the music and the scenes, I think is really cool, and I think it's a cool thing that you're doing, Birdman.
Yeah. Well, thank you. I think if you do a YouTube channel, you need to pick something you actually care about. Like people ask me, like my sister, she's like, "How much money do you make off YouTube?" I'm like, "Damn, I don't make anything off YouTube."
Well, you never know.
That's true. But like if you do 4 videos a day about what's ever popping up on the news, you'll get a lot more views than you will, if you're talking about film scores. But thank you for coming on. You're invited back anytime you want.
Oh, thank you. I'd be happy to come back and do this. I thought this was great.
Yeah, we'll have to think of you if Dan ever gets around to doing that Transformers movie, right? No, not Transformers.
So G.I.
Joe, the G.I. Joe animated movie. Remember
the '88 He-Man live action movie?
Oh, we haven't done that yet. We haven't done that. Yeah, so that's something for the new year. Maybe.
Dolph Lundgren.
Would Collector Larry come on too?
I will definitely ask him. Yeah,
okay.
I think that'd be fun.
Cool beans.
He doesn't talk much in the chat, it seems. He seems more like the silent type.
Yeah. I think it's hard, like the production of this stuff. A lot of the stuff that I see on my end, he doesn't see.
I see.
So it's kind of a lot of stuff that goes on behind the scenes. It's hard to, hard to react to stuff that you can't see.
Cool.
That's true.
All right. The DVD is pretty cool. It has a cast commentary, but with no Judge Reinhold, unfortunately, since he was the star of this movie.
Old right boomer.
All right. All right. So next week, what are we doing, Daniel? What's the movie?
Die Hard 2 or Home Alone 2. I need to send Eric a message.
Find out what Eric wants to do, because he's coming up for home. And what about, was Chris P going to try to do Die Hard 2? Or was that...
Chris P said he'd like to Die Hard 2.
Okay, cool. All right. Well, thank you for stopping by.
And what's coming up on your channel, Mr. Toy Habits? What you got coming up?
So Larry and I are recording part 2 in our 3-part miniseries delving into the powers of Grayskull. So we're
Cool.
following the first vintage mini comic, and then we're picking up part 2 where the Dark Horse comic came in. So trying to figure out or just imagine what a Masters of the Universe Origins line would look like if they actually played out the whole Powers of Grayskull line.
Cool.
When's that one dropping?
It'll probably drop on Sunday.
Okay.
And then our next live stream that we're planning, I think we're going to be doing like a holiday retrospective of like toys that we remembered as kids. And so I think that'd be a fun one. That was Larry's idea. I thought that was a fantastic idea.
Do you remember Boglins, just out of curiosity? Boglins, does that ring a bell to you?
I remember the name. I don't remember what they look like.
I think that was another takeoff on the ground. Actually, apparently it was some guy that worked for Jim Henson. He said, we should make puppets like this to sell to kids that could move the eyes around. And they were called Boglins. They were like little goblin things you could buy. It was neat. All right.
And Boomer, what you got coming up this week?
Oh, just the usual. The Sunday stream. I think I'm trying. No, actually, wait a minute. I did Mr. Matchstick stream last night, and I'll be hanging out with Troy on Friday. And but Christmas is coming, so I got to make sure I'm ready for that too. So I hope everyone here has a happy holiday. Happy holidays. Okay. Merry Christmas.
Are you good next week, Boomer, or do you need to take the week off because it is the week of Christmas?
What day is Wednesday? That's not Christmas Eve, right?
It's not.
Okay,
Friday.
yes, I'm fine next week as long as it's not Christmas Eve. Yeah.
Okay.
I told Troy. Yeah, no, Christmas Eve is Friday that week, isn't it? Yeah, no, next week's fine. Next week's fine. All right, cool.
Okay. Well, everyone, thank you for tuning in either tonight or in the future time. Leave a comment below. What are your thoughts on the Gremlin score by Jerry Goldsmith? Do you prefer the first one or the second one? And as always, adopt, don't shop. Keep listening to great film scores, and we'll see everyone later. Thank you all so much.
Good night.